Coming up today on the 49ers Report, I'm going to take all of your questions surrounding San Francisco. But first, we've been going live every single Tuesday after our live show airs on YouTube as well as Rumble on the Call-In app. Think of it like Twitter Spaces, but even better. You got to download the app so that you can call into the show. Chatsports.com/49ers Call-In will take you to the promised land. Enter that link. Make a profile, download the app. Therefore, you can join our shows. Going to be continuing to go live once a week moving forward. Would love to chop it up with all of you watching right now. Okay, let's dive into all of these questions coming in from our loyal subscribers on the 49ers Report. As we are approaching 60,000 subs, we're going to start off this mailbag with this one coming in from Don Keedick. Is there any chance the 49ers could trade for Lane Johnson with the uncertainty of Mike McGlinchey? So I would love Lane Johnson as a player anchoring that right tackle spot. He's one of the best right tackles in the game. Last year, he gave up minimal pressures, and that's really impressive considering that Jalen Hurts is a really active and athletic quarterback. Lane Johnson is really good. He's also paid a lot of money, much more than Mike McGlinchey. And if you're San Francisco, what would you give up to bring in one of the best right tackles in the game? You'd have to give up a lot, whether it be player capital, whether it be draft capital. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, what would they want back? Would it be a player like Javon Kinlaw? Would it be a player like Brandon Ayuk? Would they be willing to take back Mike McGlinchey, who's kind of been a bust as a first-round pick coming out of Notre Dame? For San Francisco, Lane Johnson would be great. Now, he's getting a little bit older. The price tag is very, very high, but this guy is a consistent performer. And for Philadelphia, they have Jordan Mailata at left tackle, who is going to really be their mainstay at that spot, protecting the blind side for Jalen Hurts. They also have Andre Dillard, who isn't even playing as a former first-round pick. That's why some of these Lane Johnson rumors are out there. I don't think the 49ers are going to get involved. With that, I ask you this. Rank the Niners' offensive line from 1 to 32. Let me know in the comment section where you think the Niners' offensive line is. A lot of experts out there slating them at about 14 in the NFL. Chualor, do you think that Jimmy comes back to the 49ers if the trade doesn't happen? Well, he's under contract, so unless he wants to hold out for the entire 2022 season, I think that he would come back, and I think that San Francisco would be willing to have him back. Yes, it's a high cap number at $26.9 million, but is he better than Nate Sudfeld? And if Trey Lance goes down, do you want to go with Nate Sudfeld or do you want to go with Jimmy Garoppolo? I'd rather go with Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I would have predicted at the end of last year that Garoppolo got dealt, but the shoulder injury threw a wrench into the Niners' plans. Jamie Bryant, what is Danny Gray's hamstring looking like today? Well, I haven't spoken with him today, so I'm not really sure. Kyle Shanahan did speak last week and said it's a hamstring strain. So during minicamp, he did not practice in front of the media. There were some clips that the Niners did release of him on the practice field. He blew by Jimmy Ward, and Jimmy Ward was like, man, that guy can really fly. So he has a speed element to his game. He has yards after the catch ability. I like the upside and the potential of Danny Gray. I think he's going to be a really good player over time, and I think he fits really nicely into what the 49ers want to do, and there's not a ton of pressure on him in year one to produce, nor is he going to receive a lot of attention from the opposing defenses, right? Because you have Deebo Samuel, you have Brandon Ayuk, you have Juwan Jennings, as well as George Kittle. So I think that Danny Gray is going to be able to have a pretty solid season for San Francisco. And he just has to show that he can stay healthy, and hopefully these soft tissue injuries are not a long-term concern. Next question coming in from Julian Rost, Niner for Life. Your thoughts on number 8 Steve Young and his comments on Lance? Yeah, what he said about Trey Lance, he's confident in the kid. He thinks that he has a lot of potential. He thinks that he can become the real deal over time, and the jury is certainly out on Trey. I think when you look at a prospect and a young quarterback, you're looking at skill set, you're looking at ability, size, arm strength, his physical attributes, what he did in moments last year, and I thought that he really did make some strides last year as a passer and grew within some of those games. Of course he was a little bit rusty. Of course he looked a little bit green and inexperienced. He played one game in 2020 because of COVID, 1 full season at North Dakota State, and made 2 starts last year. So anybody ripping him for being inexperienced, that is not a surprise to anybody. And Steve Young has seen some of the ability up close and personal. And Lance has that ability. He just needs reps, in my opinion. Good question coming in there from Julian and all of our subscribers. Make sure you join the squad on our 49ers Report YouTube page as we're closing in on 60,000 subscribers as we record this on Tuesday during our live show. But also, we've been doing live podcasts every single week on Callin. And we have 98 subscribers over there, trying to continue to grow our profile on the Callin app. It's like Twitter Spaces, but even better. Chatsports.com/49ers Callin. Download the app on your iPhone or your Android devices, and make sure you join our weekly live podcast so that you can call into the show. Corey James, what's up with Julio Jones? Will he play this year? Should Kyle Shanahan go after his boy? I think the 49ers are actually somewhat set at the wide receiver position. They have a couple of guys who are obviously sneaky good when I talk about Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray, and Malik Turner. Those are really the latter 3 wide receivers. And obviously Deebo Samuel is an elite player. Brandon Ayuk, in my opinion, a very good player. So I think the Niners wide receivers who actually make this team from top to bottom, it's Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Ray Ray McCloud, Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray, and Malik Turner. 6 guys right there that I think are pretty good and might all be less expensive as compared to Julio. Now, Julio did have the best 2 years of his career, which is a Hall of Fame career, when Kyle Shanahan was his offensive coordinator. The numbers, straight up stupid. We've covered them here on the channel, but that was a long time ago, right? Julio Jones is not the same player. The production has gone downhill while the injuries have increased. He's an older guy who can play that X wide receiver out wide. And would you rather have him as compared to a player like Mohamed Sanu from last year? Yeah, but I think the Niners this year are a little bit deeper at that wide receiver spot. I don't really think they need to sign Julio Jones in free agency. He hasn't announced his retirement, but up to this point, he also hasn't signed with the team. Maybe if an injury happens, that's when he latches on with the squad across the NFL. What do you think, though? I've let my feelings be known, but as always, we want to hear from our loyal subscribers. Should the 49ers sign Julio Jones? S for sign, W for you think he's washed. I'm going to submit my W for washed because I don't really think he's at the top of his game. Jonathan Lamont, do you think the Texans are still in play for Jimmy Garoppolo? The quarterback room is a dumpster fire, hashtag 49ers. Yeah, so look, they do lead the odds right now from Vegas for Jimmy Garoppolo's Week 1 team at plus 150. I think what the Houston Texans want to do, they want to move forward with Davis Mills. They think that he can be the guy. They spent a draft pick on him last year. I thought he did some really impressive things as a rookie. Even against San Francisco, I thought that he did some really impressive things and showed some potential. And for Houston, you're not in a rush to really win right now, so why not see what your rookie quarterback can do? Now, they do have ties to Jimmy Garoppolo in that front office because they have some ties to the New England Patriots with that current regime, and Jimmy Garoppolo was there when some of the front office execs were with New England. But I don't think the Texans are going to make a play for Jimmy Garoppolo, especially because they're paying a lot of money to players who are not on the roster, and we know that cap hit $26.9 million for Jimmy G. Jonathan Lamont with another one. Who will have more of an impact this year, Danny Gray or Ray Ray McCloud? I think it's going to be Ray Ray McCloud because of everything that he can bring to the table. Punt returns, kick returns. Last year, one of the best in the NFL in both of those areas. In San Francisco, one of the worst. That's why I really like that signing of Ray Ray McCloud. As for him offensively, I think that Ray Ray McCloud has proven throughout this offseason that maybe he could be more than a gadget guy, I should say. That's what he was primarily used as in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh, they're always really stacked at that wide receiver spot, so I don't think that Ray Ray got as many opportunities as he wanted. And Ben Roethlisberger, he had no zip on the football. He was bad, and he's been bad for the last couple of years. So I think Ray Ray McCloud, experienced, has a diversity element to his game. He's also been in the league for a little while. He's flashed so far throughout the offseason. Danny Gray, we'll see. He's a rookie, third-round pick. Obviously, over time, you want him to be a contributor, but I think that Ray Ray McCloud in 2022 going to be a little bit better. Next question coming in from Tucker God. What is the chance on Jimmy staying on the Niners? At this point, I mean, who knows, right? Like a couple months ago, we would have said that Garoppolo would have been traded. That was the prediction from me. Then the shoulder injury happened. All this crazy quarterback movement also took place, which really messed up the 49ers' plans for Jimmy G. So I think that Garoppolo and his chances of staying, I don't know, man. I'm always bad at this because I hate math. Let's say 40%. 40% chance that he's on the Niners for the entire season. Now, teams have become a lot more active at the NFL trade deadline. So maybe he gets traded in the middle portion of the year. We will see when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. Appreciate all those questions that came in throughout this mailbag. You guys are the best. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. 60,000 subs. Also, give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It is the same handle on both social media platforms. If I didn't answer your question today, then you can hit me up on social media. I interact with so many of you on the social media sphere. It's been awesome to interact with everybody among the faithful. So make sure you give me a follow at Chase_Senior. Appreciate all of you.